Just a quick little opener, if you will. I have been out working in these green stalks today, getting things staked up because my tomato plants were falling over. I got my cucumbers that were just taking over everything. I've got them pulled a little bit tight. I might roll those in a little bit, but I'm gonna let them start to climb this awning. I think that'll look really pretty and it will not take over everything. Anyway, that's for another video. But today I wanted to share with you a recipe on cowboy candy. You know, it won't be very long before peppers are ready to start picking. And so I'm going to post a video that I made last summer, of how to make cowboy candy. This is actually a recipe from Acre Homestead. I've made it several times. It is so good. Like, I literally have people requesting jars of these as I get them made. So that's what we're going to rewind back a few months and watch. But I just wanted to say happy gardening season. We are in grow mode, you know, even if we're doing it in a container and you're living in an RV, and you know, it's okay. We can still have garden season. And that's what we're doing. You guys enjoy this video, enjoy this recipe, make this for yourself. You will not be sorry. If you like jalapenos and you like some spice, you will not be sorry, and nor will your family or your friends that you share it with. So y'all enjoy this video, and I'll see you at the end of it. Cowboy candy, getting ready to go down. Get a few minutes, hang out with me. We'll have a great time together. So all these red ones are gonna go for sriracha, and then everything green, cowboy candy. So I'm just going to weigh my jalapenos because the recipe that I'm using calls for 8 pounds of jalapenos. So I know that they're all gonna fit. I may not have a full 8 pounds, and like I probably am not, but just okay. Looks like I'm gonna have about 4 pounds. So I'll just split that recipe in half and it'll work out great. Okay, 3 pounds, 14.8 ounces. Part of me wants to cut up a couple of these red ones just to send it to 4. But I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and half what the directions call for, and they'll just be a little extra juicy. So let's just see how many it would take. Oh, it would only take 2. That puts us at 4 pounds, 0.6 ounces. But you also have to remove the stems. I think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm just gonna use my knife and run through these really quickly and get us to the halfway mark. All right. £4 on the dot. All right, so now I have to pull up my recipe. All right, so I was way far off. 8 pounds of jalapenos. That seemed a little bit excessive, and it was. So the recipe calls for 3 pounds of jalapenos sliced after I so carefully weighed out 4 pounds, but it's okay. So what I'm going to do is do a full recipe, which is this. It's 3 pounds jalapenos, 2 cups of apple cider vinegar. I am using my homemade apple cider vinegar. Super excited for that. 4 cups of sugar, 2 teaspoons of a non-iodized salt. I'm using Redmond real salt. And then I'm going to add the third of the recipe to cover the extra pound that I have. So 1 cup of jalapenos, 2/3 cup apple cider vinegar, 1 1/3 cup of sugar, and 2/3 teaspoon of a non-iodized salt. So hopefully I did the calculations correctly. It'll be good. It'll be good. I'm confident of that. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to get my apple cider vinegar and my sugar boiling. The directions say I am using the recipe from Becky at Acre Homestead. I've used this last summer and loved it. It was super popular. I gave them away and they were so popular. So I'm going to stick to that. So I'm going to bring my apple cider vinegar and my sugar to a boil. Once that comes to a boil, I'm going to add in my jalapenos, bring that back to a boil, let it boil for 5 minutes. And then at that point, I'm going to add in. So I had to go back really quickly and look at the recipe because I did not write down when to add the salt, but it doesn't say. So I'm just going to add the salt in with the sugar and the apple cider vinegar. That way the jalapenos are the only thing left to add in. So that's what we're going to do right now. Let me turn you around and we'll get at it. All right, so we are adding in right now. I'm going to shake up my apple cider vinegar. And we are adding in 2 2/3 cup of apple cider vinegar. All right, so we are doing 5 1/3 cup of sugar. So this makes 5 cups. And let me get a 1/3 cup measurer. Eyeball that. All right, there's our apple cider vinegar and our sugar. So we're gonna bring that to a boil over medium heat, and we'll come back. As soon as this starts boiling, we'll add our jalapenos in and we will just go from there. So I almost forgot the salt. That wouldn't be good. So we are gonna add 2 2/3 teaspoon. All right, this is the Redmond real salt I always use. Double checking my measurements, making sure I have the right measuring spoon. Salt's in. Now I'm just gonna keep stirring this to make sure that the sugar and the salt, all of it gets melted together well without turning to caramel. It is melting down nice, but we are not quite there yet. And then once it does melt down, it has to come to a boil. So we've got a few minutes still yet to go. Our mixture is boiling. We're gonna add in our jalapenos. So here we go. If I can do this without making too big of a mess or losing too many jalapenos. We have got all of the peppers in. Woo! That'll get ya. All right, we're gonna let this come back to a boil. Once it does, I'm gonna set a timer for 5 minutes, and then we will jar these pretty little things up. How beautiful this is looking. So it still isn't boiling quite yet. It's starting to bubble. See right there on the edge, but it isn't boiling yet. I'm trying to stir it every couple of minutes just to make sure that the jalapenos that were on the top are getting down in. Aren't they beautiful? We're going to start ladling in our cowboy candy into our clean jars. We have got 2, 4, 6, 7 pints. Oh, I should have put garlic. Oh, gosh, that would have been so good. Okay, so I'm going to use my little wooden skewer really quickly just to kind of debubble. All right, so now we're just going to take a few paper towels. I'm gonna put some distilled white vinegar. And we're gonna go around the rims of each one of these jars. I'm gonna do this one last because I kind of made a mess. So just doing a quick ring around. Make sure there isn't any sticky. Okay, clean hot rings. All right, putting our rings on fingertip tight. I'm so proud of these. I only had one more left and I gave it away last week. And I got 7 and I'm thankful for those, but I wish I had more. So I may, which my jalapenos are still producing. I still had a few on there and there were some blooms. So I'm gonna wait and take those as they come in, and I may go back to the Amish and get some more because I would love to have at least another half dozen because I do like giving these away. They're really great gifts, but I really like having them in the house for our own personal use as well. All right, let's start cleaning up this mess and start making another one. All right, our water bath canner is starting to heat up. I'm gonna let it get warm where it's just starting to bubble, and I'm gonna put the jars in because these jars are still very hot. So I'm gonna wait and let this water get really hot so I don't lose my jars. We'll be back as soon as this starts rolling. All right guys, I've loaded up my water bath canner. It's just coming to a boil. I fit 8 jars in. I've got 7 jars left to go. I'm popping the top on this all the way, setting a timer for 10 minutes, and we'll be back. All right guys, our timer just went off. I'm going to very carefully remove these jars. I'm gonna actually need to set you down. Okay, let's try that again. Timer's still going off. So excited and grateful to have this cowboy candy. Okay, so there you go. That is cowboy candy. That's how we make cowboy candy. It is so delicious. Give that a shot. And you can do this if you don't have a garden, but you would like to try to make your own cowboy candy. Run to the grocery store and grab yourself some. Obviously organic would be better, but whatever you can do, just follow on the recipe the rest of the way and it will work just fine. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you're all doing well. If you haven't yet, consider subscribing, like this video. It helps us out and we so greatly appreciate it. So hope you're all well. We will see you soon.